I was about... First of all, I'm testing to see how the GoPro Hero 8 handles air conditioning. Is it too loud? Because if it's dual mics, hold on. Probably is. Okay. I'm literally sitting here testing the DA Art Aquila 2, which is a $700 DAC amp combo. And I got the book open, and I got the laptop hooked to it, and I had a wallpaper picked. And I'm like, all right, I need to test it out. I got to test it. Aeon OpenX, Neumann's, and I needed something for 4.4 balanced. And so this review has now become about the BLON BL05s because these, and I use these, and I know these are 500, and these are like 600 or 700, and the BLONs are $43. And now I'm doing a review of the BLONs because I've had them for a bit, and I'm delay. I don't know what to say. Fuck. Change the wallpaper to a blonde. Discuss first a little while the BLON BL03s, which were like a $29 or $38 IM that had terrible wire, but you change the tips, you change the wire, and oh my God, they were interesting and wide, and they had this depth, and they had low end, and it's like, how are these so cheap? And so we fast forward, hold on, they're coming out of my ears. Fast forward to the BLON BL05s, which, in the tradition of BLON, come in the exact same packaging as the BLON BL03s, except instead of blue, now we have this amazing, like, rainbow-colored belief, let music burn, Opoti, never give up. I swear, they keep this shit up. I'm gonna have to get an Opoti tattoo. I don't know where, maybe tramp stamp style. But music and Drimes, they've had a chance for like a year to fix the English on that, and they haven't. God bless them. White steel or light gun color is still the options you can choose on this, unless this is a pre-order set. Here's the thing, this is a pre-order set, because if you go to Linsol, which is who sent me these, by the way, you can pre-order, and you could do it with or without a microphone, and you could choose the color. And the colors are irrelevant. It doesn't matter, really, because it's either silver or slightly not as bright silver. $43 in the US. Decibel manufacturing. I don't know what that means. Can I yank all this whole thing apart? I want to show you the original wire, because I'm obviously not using the original wire. And I'm not using the new wire I bought for it either, because, wow, it's such a shitty wire, it just fell to the bottom of this box. All right, so the tips, it comes with their garbage, don't worry. You don't want those, you don't want any of these tips. I'm using my Dakoni tips. Love my Dakoni tips. Also have spin fits. I would probably try them if you don't like the Dakoni. Some people can't use foam. I need to give them an alternative. Here's your book that says what the BLONs are doing. Since 2014. I love that that's an actual distance of time now. Children are speaking that were born in 2014. That's amazing. So I get the wire. I get the BLONs. I hook them up. I try to put them on my ear. Without any burning at all. I am fucking sold. Sold. Like, I am sold. I am legit sold. But the problem is this cacophony of disaster that BLON can't. BLON can somehow summon an audio god to build their headphones for $40. But they can't buy a fucking wire. And there's nothing wrong with the bottom half of this wire. I don't mind the right angle tip, and I don't mind the weave. It's all right. It's got a little bit of a jack. If you're not pulling it exactly tight, it's got a little bit of like a ooh. The problem is up here, and you can fix this, according to people in my Patronage chat, with a lighter. You literally just melt this heat shrink and straighten it out. But it comes so tightly twisted that no human ears can fit these. And so I'm going to tell you a slight story before I go into how amazing these are and make you buy them. Because that's what this channel's all about. This channel's all about finding the cheap shit that is great. I mean, I'm using a $700 DAC amp that I'm going to also recommend. But I mean, $43 plus $700 plus $29 for the wire, it all works out. So I get them, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, this is that other style of connector that TripleWin has. TripleWin is this cable. This is like $29, and it comes with 3 different head options and 3 different connection options. So I went to the 4.4 QDC or QDX or QD, whatever the fuck the covered 2-pin is, right? You see 2 pins, and you see the wraparound? Fuck you, BLON, because guess what? this is a square hole around this, and every other one that manufactures that style of connector is a goddamn oval. So you'd either got to file down this part of the IM, this square. You have to file this into an oval shape, which I wasn't prepared to do, or I pulled out my set of 2 pins, which I use for my OH10s, and you just slide these in here, which actually does multiple things. A, it fits and works. B, it extends a little bit more than the normal one would have, and that's good because these are tiny little IMs. These little chrome bastards, and they actually say L and R on the face, which is interesting. They have a unique design, and I'll probably be able to show it better if I find a picture of on the internet. Where's the interwebs? Can I view you? Perfect. So, as much as it looks way better there, you get the gold, you get the R, it has WGZ, and then since 2014 written around it. It's got a little vent hole there, and you can see the clear sticking up square boxes. So that's what we're looking at. So a little bit better design, I think. The angle's fine. The angle of attack into your ear is fine. The problem is that everything is so small and compact, that the wire was so small and compact. You need this wire. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say much else about what you need to change. You need this wire. Oh, and by the way, I'll just get all the negatives out of the way first, because you're going to buy these for $43. It's a foregone conclusion. Shinobu's a background. She's a blonde. These are blondes. You're going to buy them. You're going to buy tips, and you're going to want to put the tips on here. And I love these Dakoni tips. They'd probably have a better chance with something like the Spin Fits, because if I pull this tip off, you notice there's a whole bunch of blue goo all over the place. That's blue tack, linked in the description, Zeos. Blue tack is what you could use to hold posters up. I actually use it, I hang my artwork and then I put the blue tack in the corners so I can level it, push it against the wall, and it never becomes unleveled. Trust me. Actually, these gauges are also held in, the VUs are held in with blue tack, just held in. Didn't even bother mounting them. A lot of my shit is just held together with blue tack. So the nozzles on these IMs are just infinitesimally too small to securely hold a tip, like any tip. I think, like I said, the Spin Fits are probably better because they're real tight. But like a Dakoni is like, that's like a 4mm, whatever it is. And you go to put it on, and it feels like it goes on, and it feels like it's going to stay there until you go to take the IM out of your ear, and then you go, and you start, because there's a fucking tip now just lodged in your ear. Because this is, again, small. Look how small. This is a short shaft. So this thing ends up in your ear, and you're like, So basically, I've glued the tips in with blue tack. And then I've changed wires out with extended wires that, like, it looks like 2 males banging in the middle. It's not. It's male, female. But London Grammar, KXP, YouTube video. Zeos will link it in the description. It'll be in the description. Go to the description. All right, go to the description and go watch London Grammar performing live on KXP. And by the way, you see what a wonderful difference white balance does? When I was recording my reviews, I used this camera there. I left a battery in it. It had 8 minutes of charge left. It died. And I started filming without realizing that I adjusted the color. So now, welcome to auto white balance. Which doesn't actually bring up the colors of the screen properly, but at least nothing is yellow now. So back to what I was saying. London fucking Grammar, a YouTube audio from that, has just elevated these to like, yeah, everyone's gonna buy them, of course. And I had a feeling like Blon did some miraculous things with the O3s, and I was fully prepared for the O5s to be good. I was not prepared for the O5s to be great. I've only had a few instances where I've had to like go ooh and back up from the sound. People have said, and I'm quoting someone else from the internet, but someone has repeated it, they sound like a more matured version of the O3. And I could see that, because the O3 was a wild child. It put bass way out there, and there was soundstage where there shouldn't have been, and they were so cheap. And now everything is a little bit more refined. Like, if there was a BLON BL07 and an 09, the 09 would probably sound like a $2,000 IM. Because this is definitely competing with like Starfields. As far as just pleasure of listening, like I know what cheap I am. I know the Tin T2 has its limitations, but it's a nice, chill, relaxed IEM. You put it in, it's like, wow, that's a lot of detail for that. And wow, you know, the low end is okay. It's not a crazy bass low, but the Tin T2 is like my line. What do you do differently than the Tin T2 so I could recommend you? Sure, Tapes did one thing, OH10 do another. This is all low-level stuff. I don't want to get into the $300, $400, $500 IEMs right now. I like living... My IEM comfort zone is under $200 because even at that price, I'm sort of nervous if I take them in my car and one falls under the seat and gets crushed by the mechanism. Like, oh, fuck. But, you know, I used to have U12Ts. I used to have a $2,000 set of IEMs. I never used them. The cheaper an IEM, the more I'll use it. At some point, it's just a weight balance. Like speakers, it doesn't matter. But if you had to take something like to the beach, and you could take a $100 version that sounds really fucking good, or a $5,000 version that sounds really fucking good plus 3, which one are you taking to the beach? Is it worth it? If you can get real close for like a disposable income, that's these compared to like high-end IEMs, like OH10 level IEMs and Starfields, 130, like that comfort range. Anything above that, we'll get to it. We'll get to S8s and we'll get to non-nons, and I've got the critical, fearless ones over there. Like, I'm gonna get to like high-end IEMs. But those excite me only because, wow, this is the pinnacle of what mankind can accomplish. These are the pinnacle of what luck can bring you. And if anyone knows Monogatari, that Shinobu's lucky. She's a lucky little thing you keep in your shadow because she'll pull you a lot of shit. And BLON has summoned luck to get this right, to get this right 2 times in a row. Where do I get my BLON merch? I want a BLON shirt. I want a BLON shoes. I'm gonna have a BLON brimless cap. I want it all because these fucking things, I'm gonna put them back in my ears because I really, like, I could describe sound all day, and I could do it when I'm doing with speaker reviews. You will watch me just turn the speakers back on. You can notice that the red is here. I could just read the R. It's very hard to keep these clean, by the way. I just want to point that out because I've been using them pretty substantially. And all these little cracks and crevices, you got to get like a Q-tip to get in there to like polish it. And they fit so well now that I've got this extended wire on it. Like, it's amazing. Shout out to the Aquila 2, which was about to get its review. I'm sorry I make you wait, baby. You'll get your big booby lady on the screen. What is this? Mortal Kombat? Demon Warriors Final Combat with a K. It's a quiet part of the song. I'm gonna make sure I don't blow my head up. There's almost perfect imaging. Like, shit's happening right in the middle, and then a little bit to the right, and then things swoop to the left. So that's... Right now there's like, I don't know, I want to describe the music that I'm hearing like it's imaginary. Grandpa, tell us about the music. Well, when I hear it... This is Bacano. Oh god, I'm gonna butcher this. Yuru Mikiti Kanyo No Dance, and it's like classical mariachi. Oh god, it's so good. It's just so good. That's the problem. It's just so good. Here's a Frankie Goes to Hollywood like interview single where there's just talking left and right. And it actually is startling me where their voices are coming from and the tonality of it. These are not $40 IEMs. This is what I would have expected when I started this channel, when I started getting into IEMs 3-4 years ago, the West Tones, the $400-$500 IEMs. This would have shit on those $400 or $500 IMs 5 years ago. I'm a person who has done this a lot. Like, I could shill anything. I could pick any product I want and fucking throw it into the meat grinder. I'm like, hey, everybody buy this. And then you come back when it's not what I promised and you fucking shit on me in the comments. And I'd be like, oh, no. Or I could just not lie about things. And when I'm truly, like, when I have to stop doing a review of something because, hold on, stop. I need to review these because they're too exceptional to wait any longer. This is dumb. These are a dumb IM that's being sold for a dumb price, and they do have flaws. Like, would they be worth $60 a pair if they were flawless? Yeah, I fucking think so. They'd be worth $100. They'd be worth $200 a pair if they were flawless. The wire being kind of shitty, and you could adjust it with a lighter and just sort of straight up. Deal. Okay, fine. The tips being cheap silicone tips. All right, I think everybody has sort of come to the realization now, when you get an IM, there's a good chance you're going to change the tips to something that suits you. I like foams. Sometimes I like better silicone tips. Very rarely. But you can't fake that. What is happening? What is happening? And I'm pushing them in my ear a little more. Skip through. See, right there is sharp. Wait, right there. That's the only negative in the sound that I will tell you about. Occasionally there's an intense song. This is Chemical Brothers, Depth Charge, Shaolin Buddha Finger. I can't make that shit up. But there's like loud, Chemical Brothers like cymbals and high notes. And I just want to turn the volume down a little bit. Just a little bit. But then you turn it back up and you keep turning it back up and you find that comfortable level again because the last song was quiet. And there's this depth and space that we're dancing with this music in, and I have nothing bad to say about them again. It only seems to happen at very high volume. Very high volume for me. Now, I am running it balanced. I'm running it off an amplifier that can push like 4 watts per channel through balanced, which is why it's down 64 decibels in the top. So I would say running them on the normal cable, you could probably get a little more power, but these are hyper efficient. Even for IMs. I'm so glad that I'm not just a dick. That I'm not like, well, all the IMs that aren't $1,000 are stupid. I don't fucking want $1,000 IMs. I don't. I have a box of $1,000. At least a couple of them in there are worth like $800-900. And I know that they're great. I know the non-nons are the greatest things I've ever put in my ears. But if this can give me this much excitement for $43, I like this more. I like this more. It's like building a race car with your dad. And even if that race car was a shitty old Honda Accord, you're going to love that car more than the Mercedes S-Class AMG that you bought with the company money because you stole from the poor. Like, that's a car that I love that. Car's obviously better. The S-Class is obviously better. S-Class AMG 2-door convertible hovercraft. But that fucking shitty old Accord that you and your dad spent the time on, it matters more to you. And these at their price point honestly matter more than me. More to me. Do they matter more than me? Wow, we're going to get real meta on this. Am I reviewing the product, or is the product just reviewing me? Anyway, I am wholly satisfied with these blondes. In fact, if you're in the patrons chat and you find the exact day I got them, you'll find that I took them to bed, a giggity, and I tried to sleep with them in, and I couldn't leave the wire over my ear because it was too shitty. So I just took the wire out, just let it like hold against my ear, and my pillow held them into my head. And then the tips would fall out, and I'd wake up, and I'd be like, oh, and I'd be digging the tip out with my finger. So I finally got them to a usable state with a triple win wire and some blue tack on the tips I like. And If you are an enthusiast for IMs and an enthusiast for cheap IMs, look no further. This is it. And you don't need this. No one needs an Aquila 2 to run them. It doesn't hurt. Like, that's the thing. A lot of people think that, oh, I've only got $40 IMs. I don't need to spend on a good DAC amp. Fuck you. Once something sounds this good, it doesn't matter the cost. The cost is irrelevant. It's, can you deliver the quality of sound through amplification and DAC and source? People always neglect source. If you ask me what the most important thing is in my listening, and people ask me that all the time, it's two things. The end product in your head, on your head, or in your room, and the music you're listening to. If you listen to grunge rock from the 90s recorded with like a fucking Fisher-Price microphone, that's it. That's as good as that's ever going to sound. Doesn't matter how many millions of dollars you spend on whatever the fuck you're listening to. And if you have, you know, amazing speakers, or you could have the most amazing recording of like Beethoven ever. Back in time, took a time machine, brought the entire Neumann Corporation and developed microphones in like the, shit, I don't know when Beethoven lived, 1400s? 1200s? 1600s? When did Beethoven live? Echo, when did Beethoven live?
From December 17th, 1770 to March 26th, 1827.
Oh, shit. I didn't know he made it to the 18th century. Wait, 1800s is the 19th century? Yes, I didn't know that. I thought it was older.
I'm not quite sure how to help.
I'm not talking to you anymore. I always think of classical music. I think of like way long ago, like the fucking Renaissance. Anyway, it's like listening to the most perfect Beethoven recordings on an old set of like, let me think, what's shitty? Give me a nice shitty, a Crosley like mono turntable thing. Like you gotta get the front and the back of the train perfect. All the shit in the middle, the amp, the DAC, the wires, that could all be less, that's way less important. Goes source, then it goes down to DACs and amps and everything, and then it goes right back to fucking whatever the end is. Big V. I love these. I love Lamp, and I love these. I'm probably going to put these on my FIO adapters, the wireless adapters. I'm going to have to adapt those adapters, which is actually fine because the adapters add a little bit of length, and I need that anyway. So I'm going to link the FIO Universal True Wireless Stereo Adapter things and the tips, and I'll link everything. Because these fuckers, now we talking. So now we can go back and say, oh, well, True Wireless is great. These things are so well developed. They're DSP. If you DSP corrected BLON BL05s with the sort of tech that's in like an AirPod Pro, they would probably be the best sounding thing that has ever existed. I'm talking Orpheus can go fuck itself levels. I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting for someone to put out a like $1,000 legit. It would have to be, the thing is, it has to be self-powered or you can't DSP. So I'm waiting for like $1,000 to $1,500 true wireless solution that uses like Kinera Nanas as the base and then DSP corrects on top of it, and everyone's fucking head would explode. But you could do that with something like this. You could take $43. Okay, they're pretty small. Now wrap this in battery and amplifier and DAC and DSP correct. Thing is, the only thing you would ever DSP correct is when you turn the volume up. That little bit of harshness I get in the highs. It's the slightest, it's the smallest little, I don't even want to fucking mention it. I'm going against my businessman junk, because I know people are going to be like, oh no, it gets a little sibilant. I don't need to buy that. And I don't want to mention it, but it's there. It is there. When you turn it up, if you're blasting it, and you go from a song that's sort of like calm and sweeping and grand to a like, fuck, System of a Down, you're going to go like, oh, lower it. Just lower it a bit. Yeah, I fucking, these blondes, baby. They're something special. There's something special. Not if these were $250, I wouldn't have maybe as much specialness going for them, but they're $43. This isn't even a review. This is why you're watching it. You should have bought them already by accident. Just on the fucking wallpaper alone, you should be like, yeah, Zeus uses Shinobu. I guess he uses her all. No, he doesn't. Blondes, baby. So now I'm going to stop this review. I'm going to finish the review of the Aquila, which is, by the way, very good. And probably got to replace the topping a DX7 Pro from my mental list. But thanks to the blondes too for pointing that out. Wallpaper in the description. Link to every fucking thing on earth I've said in the description, because you're going to need wires, you're going to need blue tack, and you want to get different tips, and you want to get the tips here. So good luck with that. It might still be pre-order. I know Linsol is basically the only one that has them, and that's on their site, and it's like, you can buy them. I don't know when they're coming out. I'll email. Actually, Linsol's on Telegram, so I'm going to message Linsol. They have a really nice Discord, too. Not to pimp Linsol too much, but they're the type of company that has a Discord to ask you questions. And the questions or answers or comments should be like, hey, could you tell Blonde to stop fucking with the wires so badly? That'd be great. Because, I mean, I'm sure they could say something to them and punch them in the face. But yeah, wallpaper's available. Links are available. Support this channel. In the pinned comment is Patreon and Subscribestar. I'm going to see if I can get... Here's the thing. They're so cheap. Is it even worth me getting a couple just to sell in a yard sale or give away? Include them one with everything I put? Be amazing, actually. Kind of like KPH 30Is. They keep sending me 12 packs of them. Either platform, you get to see these reviews early, which is probably not super important for this video because it's pre-order still. If there was a run out, if there was a limited supply, you would definitely want to see this review early. Yard sale, 1st to the 10th of every month. I sell things that I've either bought or been sent by companies or people have donated to the channel. I keep going, I hate when I go, Some videos I don't do it at all. And some videos I'm just like, I don't know what that is. I did eat some Qdoba, so that might affect my mental state. It's very good, by the way. See these reviews early. Participate in the yard sales, 1st to the 10th of every month. Free shipping, continental United States. Half shipping international. Ask me any questions you want on platform. Patreon finally updated their fucking... Today, they updated their messaging system. So now the question isn't at the top of my monitor, and the text box is this big at the bottom of my monitor, and it was so hard. Now at least they're together, and I might even be able to adjust the text box size. I'll find out. Because I'm going to start answering Patreon comments and questions. Subscribestar, it's still like alpha messaging. So if you message me on that, I'll actually probably get to you sooner, because there's only 40 subscribers in Subscribestar. So I get to those a little bit sooner. And if you want to join for the $10 Patreon or Subscribestar tiers, you get into the private Telegram chat, which is 200 plus members strong, and those people know about these blondes from day one. If you want to be behind the scenes, you want to know what has arrived in my mail that day, what I think of it immediately, that's the place to be. Otherwise, you're waiting, a week, 10 days, a month sometimes. Those people are very big influences on this channel. I don't let them pick the wallpapers, but they certainly get access to all of them, by the way. I'm done with the blondes. I'm done with the blondes, and I'm done. They will never give up, because they believe in the let music burn opoti. I still don't know what opoti means. Does anybody know what opoti... Did anyone ever decipher this? It's been a while. Can someone please tell me why we opoti?